we wanted to do this episode right here to everybody who follows us, because we want to kind of let you know, right, this is what we've done, this is where we're at, and this is where we want to go. So it's kind of like a reset, kind of letting you know that, we're very deliberate and we're very conscious of this, not only this podcast, but all our members and all our listeners and all our constituents. We're very conscious of that. And all right, to all our listeners, members, entrepreneurs, and all our constituents, we are live and in color here at the Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. Ladies and gents, we're doing something a little different today. We're actually doing this episode live, raw and uncut. As you know, my name is Sosa. That's the brother IJUST. That's it. We are the ones here, doing this Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast. And today, this is kind of like a year-end wrap. And what we're doing is, we do have one more guest, another dope guest lined up to close this year out. And we are going to do an end-of-year recap with all our episodes. But today, I thought this would be a good time to kind of just let our members and our listeners and all our constituents let us know kind of where we're at, right? Where we're going and what it took to get here. This has been a journey that the brother IJUST and I have been on actually for a long time. And then we went to a school, right? And we settled on the podcast. So this has been a hell of a journey.
When the dust settled, especially when the dust settled, it became a podcast.
It became a podcast, but it all came down to it. It became a podcast. And I'm just really blessed to have, a good brother of mine, somebody who I consider a brother, a friend of mine, brother from another mother.
Thank you, brother.
My man, IJUST. And, for us to put our minds together, man, we just started really just two brothers just wanted to, give, put our, be part of the struggle, be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And that's really how it started. And, then we got together and we started getting together and we started talking about ideas that we have, man. How can we bring some value to the community? Yes. And then, we were very ambitious at first, you know what I mean? And we had like a big grand plan. And, but we are business owners as well. So, I don't know if we had the time available to us of what we really wanted to do at first. And then, we started talking about, and then, the brother IJUST went, with the Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group. And then we started talking about the podcast, man. And, here we are.
I know. And it's just like, as you said, those first seeds that were planted and, the time that it took for those seeds, to be harvested, it was time span. And as you think about the journey from then to where we're at now, just appreciating those steps, the do's and the don'ts, and the things that I've learned over the time. Our entire way of thinking, it was about being an entrepreneur.
We started off being self-employed. From self-employed, we're more now in the ownership kind of quadrant. And we're working towards the entrepreneurship. So yeah, we do. Yeah. We have businesses. We both have businesses. I have, rental property and stuff like that. But this is not, so I don't ever want to come off like we're the experts, because we're not. We're just enthusiasts. Right. We're enthusiasts for people to have success. We're, we're motivated by people and by people having success. We want our own success, but we also want people's success also, because we'll get a lot further. There's a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with other people. So that's what we believe in. We believe in and everything that brother IJUST, and this is why me and him are cool, and this is why it was a no-brainer for us to get together, because we've always been on this path. You know, we weren't always just thinking about ourselves and our family. We were always had other people in mind, and always willing to give our time and give our efforts and donate, sponsor, whatever it is. We've always done that even before we done the podcast. So doing this is just basically like like the correlation of all of our thought process and who we are as regular human beings that walk this earth every day. It's all
Facebook
good, ladies
side.
and gentlemen. This is live.
Yeah.
Understand? This is
Yeah, that's
live.
right,
This
man.
ain't
We
no
learned
editing
it
going on
too.
with this one. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
know all
and we
the,
learning
and we
it.
learning it. That's right. And we learn it.
Yeah,
And
learning the technology, man.
yes,
Because I mean, let's think about it too, man. That's dope that it all ties into the podcast, the technology, and being that our conversation was always like this. So whenever we spoke, whether that was at previous jobs when we were working the 9 to 5, and we would, kick it on lunch break with a few other coworkers, we will always build, even then. So this is quite natural to us. So, but the ill part about it is now with technology, we don't necessarily have to be sitting in the same room
that's
to
right.
have a podcast. Hey, Sos, I got to for a moment just shout out because we're live on YouTube.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the YouTube viewers that may be checking in with us
Yeah.
right now and on
Yeah.
this live with us.
Yeah.
As we speak about and wrap up the end of the year, fiscal
Yeah.
year
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
And this, once we do the edits and it re-airs next Wednesday, this is going to be episode 16 in
Wow.
2022, bro. Like
Yeah.
episode 16 that we're up to, that we're literally doing live right now on YouTube. And it's going to re-air Wednesday, and that'll re-air to our Facebook group. And when you're on YouTube, that is the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. Make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe.
We have one other person who actually is very vital to the Entrepreneur Chamber
Yes,
podcast, and that's Mr. Kia
absolutely.
Brown. She's the
Already know
owner
where you was
of
going with
that's right. She's the owner
it.
of the Hustle Lab, and
Hustle Lab.
so I must say that so it is you what you see is what you get. It's me and I, but she's very integral behind the scenes and helping us out, helping us understand this whole marketing thing.
Yes.
When our guests, when you get your onboarding and all that, she's the one that's handling all that, and she's a bright mind, who's extremely sharp, extremely intelligent. And if anybody out here, needs marketing or needs anything social media wise, man, check out the Hustle Lab. So I just had to really give a shout out and an applaud. I got to applaud that young lady and her company, Hustle Lab, because she is a big part of what we do.
Absolutely, man. And if I may, man, you can catch Akia and the entire agency for Hustle Lab at thehustleLabLLC.com.
check that out. I want to just push and help whoever listens to us, our members. We just want to drop as much information as we have. We want to share the information that people were gracious enough to drop on us, and all we're doing is just paying it forward. It was dropped on us, and we just dropping it to y'all. And that's really what we do. That's really the spirit behind this Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. But if you need any of our services, contact us, inbox us, and which many of you have
Hey,
already.
man, listen,
You know what I
man,
mean?
they can post a comment.
You can post a comment.
Yeah,
That's right.
post a comment.
You
Yeah,
want to post? That's
post a
right. Post a
comment.
comment. Let us know.
Because
You know what I mean?
we certainly read all of the comments and
Yeah.
reply to the comments. And some of the
Yeah.
comments we even, pin to the top of the comment section. So, we certainly go through the comments. We appreciate everybody that leaves a comment on the podcast, and watch an entire podcast. So yeah, man. And when you said that, so again, man, it just takes me back to the roots of even the podcast. And like you said, to be remiss not to mention Akia, the Hustle Lab, and the whole professional look, the whole team, and everything that we're doing as far as for the community. And all of this, even though you were shouting out our businesses, and my bread and butter is JMD Janitorial. I'm about to do a shameless plug, y'all. That's www.jmdjanitorial.com. And my brother Sos, that's NA Solutions
Well, it's NA
and New
Solutions, and
Age.
we have another company, New Age Cleaning and Maintenance,
That's
and that's
right. That's right.
New Age Cleaning and Maintenance. You can reach out to us. That's New Age Cleaning and Maintenance.com. So
Yes, sir.
you can
Yes,
reach out
sir.
to us, and if
Yes,
you're
sir.
looking for financial services or learn about your finance, want to get your finances in order, you can reach out to Ambrose and Associates, or reach us at Tamira Ambrose livenet.com, and you can get in contact with us as far as that's concerned.
So, but real quick though, before we move forward, let me just
Yeah,
say this, because to wrap up that previous thought I had. So, even with the podcast now and our bread and butter, let me speak for myself. My bread and butter is my cleaning business. And I've spoken with my brother Ambrose, Sos in private, but he can speak better for himself. But with my cleaning business being my bread and butter, in this podcast coming out of that, and is known as, with the things you were touching on, there's a term for that, Sos, and that's the wisdom that you're bringing, because it's known as ancillary. So from your business and you taking a step to be a business owner, let's just go with a business owner, bro, for the time being, right? Then you can go into so many different fields after having mastered that one.
yeah,
And that's your bread and butter. That's the one that you've mastered.
yeah.
Because there's a saying that says, don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right,
But I
right,
never heard it put that says, if you're the master of one, don't be the jack of, or be the jack of all trades.
right,
So it's
right,
like, yeah, you could be the jack of all trades. They just saying, and don't be the master of none. So
right,
at least master one if you're going to jack all trades.
right, right, right,
Because
right, right,
jacking all trades is just ancillary.
right.
That's entrepreneur. You're getting money from all
That's right,
different type of
right.
business ventures. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I do like what
So
you said, because you're right, and I find a lot of young people kind of in this boat where
yeah,
oh, I got all these streams of income, whatever. Okay, but
yeah.
how much money you making? You know what I mean?
Right, right, right,
Because
right,
right,
right.
it's great to have a bunch of streams of income, but if they ain't generating no real money, what you really got? So
That's
just
right.
like our brother I just said, yeah, man, you got to be. There's another saying in scripture that says one can't be a slave to two masters,
Yes.
and you're right. You can't be a slave to two masters. But guess what? You can master something. You know what I mean? You can master something, and then you can venture out and be free. You know what I mean? And
Right.
freely pursue other ventures. But like my brother I just said, you got to have something that's your bread and butter. You know what I mean? Like you look at some like Mark Cuban and stuff like that. Yeah, they're entrepreneurs, but but they built their wealth off of one or two things. It wasn't
One
20
or two
things. Now,
things.
once
Right,
they got
right,
their
right.
money, yeah, now they can invest, because now when you're investing, a lot of times you're just investing. You're investing all your time. You're investing your knowledge or your money or whatever it is, and you're bringing that to the table, free of the time that you have to put in. So
Right.
I think that a lot of people get that confused. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely. I mean, just like going back through this year, I really appreciate the people that's kind of been with us, especially people who've been with the beginning. We hope
Yes.
that you guys see the growth from our first episodes to where we're at now.
Hey,
Um,
listen, man. Real quick. And where we're at now is live on YouTube, bro.
that's right.
Like
That's
you
right.
said that. Remember we did that was what may have been episode 14. And you was like, listen, man. And this is how powerful it is, and why I'm saying what I'm saying, brother. Because you was like, one of our goals is to go live and bring it to you live.
Yeah.
And look,
Boom.
so
We're
within the
live.
time span of one episode, we are
Yeah.
now live. So planting the seed and then harvesting it. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And
That's
that's the
right.
jewel out of that, bro, like talking it into existence. So
Yeah.
let's just say you're a person, who's stuck on the fence, right? 9 to 5, or not to disrespect anybody that works in 9 to 5. It's honorable, right? Now, but you want to step out there and do your own thing, but you got to first plant the seed. So let's just say, for example, your goal is to climb Mount Everest. Like, you do all the practicing, whatever it takes to practice to prepare to climb Mount Everest.
Right.
At some point, you're going to first climb Mount Everest and picture it in your mind what it's like to be climbing Mount Everest prior to you physically climbing Mount Everest. So that's, to me, the thinking it and then watch it come into existence and bring it into existence. And you just said in episode 14, as we get better with the podcast, the technology, the professionalism, the build the team around Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast and the Hustle Lab, and we get better, you said one of the goals is to bring it to y'all live. And once again, y'all, we're live on YouTube.
That's it.
So,
boom, like that.
Yeah, so I certainly didn't want you to glance over that as you was building.
Yeah.
And let people know that part of being an entrepreneur, part of being and having the podcast and the venture you and I are on right now was, prior to us physically having the podcast, we were thinking about different things, which led to us thinking about the podcast.
That's right.
So if you're on the fence, and you may not just jump into the deep water and just quit your job today and start your own business, first start picturing yourself being the business owner. What type of business owner are you going to be? So that answers the what question. When do you plan on opening your business? That answers the when question. Where do you plan on opening your business? That answers the where question. Some may argue this is the most important point of anything, is what is your why? Why are you opening business? And what service or what value, let me put it that way, what value is that business going to bring to said consumer, whoever your consumer base is? So bro, that all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, to build on that, because I like what you just said. I think right. I think in a normal scheme of life, it's when, who, what, when, where, why, right? And why is like the last one. But I feel like in business, why almost has to be the first thing, because this is just my personal opinion. I could be wrong on this, but I'm just thinking. To me,
add on, bro.
I think it has to be why, right? Because for you to get to where, who, what, when, you know what I mean? I think in business, it's like why you're doing it, because if you don't have a strong why, then it's, to me, those other things is going to be kind of like haphazard, you know what I mean? But if you got that strong why, right? That strong why, then the when, the where, when you're going to do it and all that to me becomes a lot clearer into focus, because you have a reason why you're doing it. So like, really, it's almost like with the other stuff, why could be last, but when you're in business, that almost has to be upfront and center, because that's the whole reason that you're getting into business. Is that why?
Right.
That's
is
like
the answer that why.
Right, is that whole reason. So that there, once you have that, it kind of almost everything else kind of falls into place and kind of motivates you to, all right, you know what, this is why I'm doing it. So when am I going to do it? Okay, I'm going to, I'm going to make this date right here. You know what I mean? But it's all centered because of that why, I think.
Yeah, it's made me think of the reverse engineering. So like, even if it is last, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. So you might have to just start with the last, make that first, and then work backwards from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how the book is going to end, but you still got to go back and write the beginning of the book, right? Page number 1.
That's right.
Although you may already know how the book is going to end because you're the author.
Right. Or at least
So
you see
that's
that, right? You already know what's right in your mind. You know what that last chapter want. You know what it
what,
wants to
yeah,
read.
yeah,
You know
even
what
if
it
the
wants to
reader
do.
doesn't know,
That's
but
right.
you're the
That's right.
author, you know what the end of
That's
the
right.
book is going to end like,
That's
even
right.
if you never even wrote page number one. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So that's why I said that was so important that you said it and that you said it like that, because those are the moments where you form logic and it allows me to now understand what you're saying, but interpret it my way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where I'm like, you know what? I'm locked, key, and stuck with what you just said.
Yeah.
Yo, I agree with that. I
Yeah.
may have not thought about it
Right.
and may have not said it like that, but bro, I completely agree with you like that.
Yeah.
And there's so many examples you can use to back up that theory that you're saying.
You
I
know what I
think
mean?
that was an
So
excellent point you just made, bro. No
no
cap.
doubt. No
No cap.
doubt. No doubt. No doubt. So maybe, like, so like what you think of like the journey of where we've gotten so far and what you think of like where, where you wanted to go.
I look at it more like a network that we're building. So like the members of the entrepreneur chamber, the Facebook group, the core group that take the time out to check in on the page every day, and watch the podcast every Wednesday and like and share and comment. And then it will have to be the guest. You know what I mean? And from Tamira, Ambrose, from Andrew Smith, from Kwasim Johnson, from CIYs, from DJ Cam to Phyllis Johnson. Although that one, the audio was really kind of messed up. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. That was a
I
dope
think
interview
it's the
too.
I, I think it's the guests, man, and how receptive they are and all were to the questions that we asked,
Yeah.
and how genuine they all were. Like, so for example, I think of the Qasim, he inserted a lot of in him quantifying, in his own words, quantifying his answers, um ex, started giving like personal testimonies
Yeah.
that was, yeah, answering the question, but he kind of gave us a real life example to go along
Yeah.
with that.
100%.
So yeah, man, and just so I like that part of it, bro. I really enjoy that part of it. The growth personally for myself, stepping out of my box and out of my comfort zone, because this is truly out of my comfort zone, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, because listen,
Yeah.
man, a shameless plug. I got another YouTube channel, JMD Janitorial, and it's a lot of videos, but I don't do no talking, and it's just music playing. So me talking and having a podcast and doing that, that to me, I'm measuring as my personal growth.
Yo, I definitely want to expound on that a little bit. So, you know what I mean? Like, if he's the type of person, he's like an inspector deck. Like, he got to know you first before he just get all comfortable with you and all that. So, he is more reserved. He is definitely a lot more reserved than I am.
So I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro, and this is going into my roots and answering the questions for those that may wonder, what is I just? Who is I just? And you hear the Winston McIntosh or see the Winston McIntosh tied to the business, and then there's the I just, and that's my 5% upbringing and developing that understanding. We have what are known as different type of seeds. So you will have like a knowledge seed, one that tends to do the knowledge, listen, learn, observe, and respect. Then you have wisdom seeds. Those are people that are just swift. We got swords on their tongues, like they just swift with the swords. And then you got understanding seeds. Like some people just have the ability to understand. I've always been the knowledge seed. I've always been a more reserved, quiet, some may call shy, whatever you want to use adjective to describe me. And when I, you know, came into that understanding of saying, no, I'm a knowledge seed. And I tend to always look, listen, observe, and respect.
Like that one episode he's talking about, we did that one, at a location and the sound quality was terrible. You know what I mean? But it was a dope interview,
It
right?
was a dope interview.
But you know what I mean? I think, but that episode is on the channel, correct?
It is. It is. And what I'll do is, for the sake of this video, once it re-airs next week, I'll even drop the link to that video in the description
Right.
below. For those that are watching this now live on YouTube, just
Right.
circle back every
Yep.
Wednesday. We drop a episode at 6:30 p.m. And that's Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast.
Yeah.
You have the host, Mr. Sosa for the people, and I'm one of the co-hosts. I just, and where I would like to see this go is for us to continue to cultivate the Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group. I know that's our grassroots. They're checking for us. So
Yeah.
they're taking out the time every Wednesday at 6:30. Listen, y'all, for those that's watching us live on YouTube, once again, that's every Wednesday at 6:30. But this group is checking us out, man. And I certainly appreciate that. Our first live was episode 16.
Yeah.
And in the one last thing, man, in the manifestation of my lessons, 1 and 6 is 7. So it's knowledge and equality. That's 7. And 7 is God in our lessons. Before we close off on this live, so I want to put that same question on you. So what do you like about the podcast, where we came from to where you saw it grow, and where would you like to see the podcast go to?
Well, what I love about the podcast is, first of all, is that basically, this brother and I, like he said, our relationship goes back 20, 25 years. So we've always had these conversations. Even back then, we were always having conversations, because one theme that we both have in common, that I think is what really is at the very crust of our relationship and our friendship and our brotherhood, is that we're two brothers that have been consciously trying to improve ourselves, whether that be mentally, whether that be physically, whether that be spiritually. We have always been on that thing. Me and this brother have had gym memberships together and worked out. Me and my brother have built on lessons
Right.
on life, countless. I
Right.
mean,
That's right.
countless hours. You know what I mean? We work together. You know what I mean? So to me, to be able to have these conversations is some to me. I love it, and what I love about it is now other people can tune in to conversation. We would be having these conversations whether we had this Entrepreneur Champion podcast or we didn't. We would still be
Excellent
having these
point.
conversations. You know what I mean?
Excellent point.
But I think what's dope is now we can take some of these conversations, and other people that having these same conversations that we're having, but in other locations, not even knowing us. Now we can all kind of tie in and have that same conversation, have that same like mindedness. And so that's what I really truly love about this, but be able to do it on a platform where we can help other people at the same time. I'm not just helping myself, and do it with someone who I have a lot of love and respect for. To me, I think is to me, that's probably what I love most. And I would love for this, for us to be at a point where we can be at have a studio or have a location that we could share, even bring even more value, and be able to bring our guests live to us. I would love to see that.
Yeah, man. So for all of those that are watching us now live on YouTube, you are now tuned in to the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. You have the host, Sosa for the people. You have brother Just. And yeah, so as we wrap up this podcast, this is episode number 16. Once again, we're going to drop a handful of links in the description. This live will be edited, and it will have a re-air and upload on YouTube. That's going to be Wednesday, and it's going to be at 6:30. So always check in with the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast channel on YouTube, so that way you can get all of the latest episodes. You can browse, you can go through all of the different episodes going
Right.
back to
That's right.
episode number 6. Now, we do have in our chamber about 5 episodes that we have created a site and we'll probably add those 5 episodes in as a bonus. Now,
Yeah.
those are going to be bonus episodes. So
Right.
yeah, as we close out the year 2022, this has been a great year for us. I'm just so happy that we've reached so many people. Even if it's one person whose
Yeah.
life we changed, one
Yeah.
person who's now more considering taking that step towards creating a business for themselves, whether
That's right.
that's in part-time or full-time or with their spouse, and just getting out of their comfort zone, and getting off of that 9 to 5.
So you either going to be on the 15 to 45 or the 45 to 15. So you get out of college, you're either going to work for 45 years and be able to enjoy, the last 15 year retirement, the last 15 years of your life basically, or you can reverse that and you could go hard for get out of school and go hard for 5 to 15 years and enjoy the rest 45 years of your life, and that's your retirement. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
man.
so that's what so
Yes.
that's what that's about, you know what I
So
mean?
certainly, man. So thank you, man, for that insertion. I
No
greatly
doubt.
appreciate that, man.
No
So
doubt. No doubt.
yeah, man. So for those that are watching us live
Yep.
on YouTube, thank you for checking in. This
Yep.
has certainly been a wonderful year.
Yeah.
2022. We're
Yep.
going to do one more, I think, what is it, 2 more episodes to end out
Yes.
the
Yeah.
year?
We got. I think we. Yes. Yeah. We got another We got another guest that's going to be dope. That's gonna. I mean, it's going to. I'm sure it's gonna. It's gonna bless you guys.
Yeah.
With their testimony, with their story, with their
Yeah.
thoughts,
Yeah.
and we wanted to do this episode right here to everybody who follows us, because we want to kind of let you know, man, this is where we've been, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
Right, this is what we've done, this is where we're at, and this is where we want to go. So it's kind of like a reset, kind of letting you know that we're very deliberate and we're very conscious of everybody, not only not only this podcast, but all our members and all our listeners and all our constituents. We're very conscious of that, and so we wanted to do that, kind of like let you know kind of where we're at and kind of where we're going. But we do, like brother I just said, we do have another guest lined up. We do have another episode guest, and then we're gonna do like an end of year wrap up where
End
we're
of
actually
year
gonna
wrap up.
gonna
Yeah.
we're actually gonna go pick some of our favorite highlights and some of our
Mhm.
favorite episodes and moments in these podcasts, and kind of show it to you all. So therefore, those that have never that might be the first time that they tune in, they can see kind of what we've done, and those of you that have already been there kind of regurgitate or kind of rehash some of the highlights of this past year on this podcast.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, we're about to wrap up this live. It's certainly been a great one. That's Entrepreneur Chamber Podcast, episode number 16. You have
Yes.
your host, Sosa for the people. And if you would, Sos, let the people know on YouTube how they can find you on other social media platforms.
Sure. You could follow me on Instagram. That's cap0g. That's cap0g. Or cap OG, whatever. But you can follow me on that. You could, like I said, we have we have a company called Ambrose and Associates. You can follow us on Facebook. You can go right to our page, Ambrose Associates. If you're looking for services, if you're looking to bless your family, protect your family, or if you're looking to really understand finances, that's when I can really sit down with you one on one and really talk about your finances, talk about your family, talk about your financial goals. We can help get you a plan if if you're behind, retirement. Listen, you're gonna probably need. I'm gonna be not gonna hold anybody. You're gonna need probably 1.5 million at least minimum to retire. We can help you get on a plan to get you to that number. We help a lot of people. So yeah, certainly follow us on that. And we're always here. I know brother I just myself. If you need any one of us, reach out to us on that Entrepreneur Chamber Facebook group. You can inbox us.
Yeah,
People have
man.
inbox us.
Join. I
And join.
encourage,
That's right. And
yeah,
join.
all of the viewers on
That's
YouTube.
right.
You
That's
can
right.
always come back and look at any of our podcast
That's right.
episodes. It'll list in the description, the host bio, It'll list the link where you can join our Facebook group. That's Entrepreneur Chamber on Facebook. And yeah, so I'm just going to hit them up before we end off the live that, you can reach me at Winston IJUST on Facebook. And for Sosa and I both, it's going to be Everything Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. So that's on TikTok, that's on Instagram, that's on Facebook. It's Entrepreneur Chamber or Entrepreneur Chamber podcast.
That's it.
So yeah, if you want to go into your closing remarks, Sos.
Man, my closing remarks is I just love and appreciate y'all, man. And you know what? 2022 was great, but let's go big in 23. You know what I mean? Let's go bigger and better in 2023 and everything that we do. You know what I mean? Let's just be, let's be better. Let's be better men. Let's be better women. Let's be better husbands. Let's be better wives. Let's be better brothers. Let's be better sisters. Let's be better followers. You know what I mean? Let's be better business owners. You know what I mean? Let's just be better all the way around the board, man.
Yeah, man, I think that certainly was powerful, brother. And then I'm just going to end it off with, man, Facebook, Entrepreneur Chamber, the group. Thank y'all. 2022 was a great year. We launched the podcast. I'm certainly looking forward to 2023 and the things in the horizon.
Right.
But certainly appreciative of the moment, and the moment that we're
Word.
in right now, the
Word.
present.
Word.
And I certainly agree with you, man. Just being a better person, putting out a better product
Yeah.
on YouTube, and looking forward to us going on to Spotify
Yeah.
and iHeartRadio and all the
And
other
all this is coming. All this is
platforms.
coming, everybody.
Yeah, all the other platforms that you can find your podcast. You're certainly going to be able to find the Entrepreneur Chamber podcast. So yeah, I'm IJUST, my brother Sosa. You
There
want to
you
hit him
have
with the
it.
slogan? You want to hit him with the
No,
slogan?
I was just about to say, listen, that's it. But whether we live or not, we always going to end it with my fellow brothers, my fellow listeners, our fellow constituents, our fellow Entrepreneur Chamber members. As always, please help empower us so we can help empower you.
Peace all and be victorious. Peace.